Hey y'all, welcome back to Bama Based, where I find peace in my garden and joy in my kitchen. I'm Emily, and it's time to make my family a good, nutritious dinner. So, the hubby and I love to go antiquing. There's a wonderful place nearby, about 40 minutes or so away from our house, and it's like 3 stories. It's massive, and we love going there. And on a recent trip there, I came across a I don't want to call it old because it's not old per se, um, but I found a cookbook that is older than me. And it has recipes in there that in my head, I feel like my grandmother would have cooked or, my great grandmother, those type of recipes that are passed down. Um, it's, it's old, y'all, and I love this thing. I actually found it in a hidden little nook at this antique shop, and I squealed in delight. So it is called What's Cookin', and it is a local cookbook to my area. And it, I love the title. It's called Kissin' Wears Out, but Cookin' Don't. How hilarious is that? Kissin' wears out, but cooking don't. Oh, I so giggled. Um, so as I was perusing through this cookbook, I noticed that it is older than I am, y'all. So I want to look at the date when it was first published. So it says copyright 1980, but in my head I had 1974. I'd hate to tell y'all the wrong date. Well, I guess in my head I was wrong. So it was copyrighted in 1980, which is still older than me. But it has recipes in there from like people in my area. They submit their family recipes. And just out of curiosity, the hubby and I just got on Facebook and looked up some of these people in our area, and most of them have already passed. So these are recipes from, grandmothers and great grandmothers that were submitted. Um, so yeah, I'm so excited to just start cooking through this recipe book. Oh, the title, Kissin' Wears Out, but Cookin' Don't. That's so Southern. I love it. Um, and so the first recipe that really sparked my interest and my hubby's interest, it is called, oh goodness, I lost my place, y'all. It is called Bottom Up Casserole. That's so interesting. It's pretty easy, but it calls for 1 pie shell, and I already have it thawing, a pound of ground beef, celery, which I'm omitting just because I don't have it, and I just don't really like it in this type of aspect here. Onion, green pepper, a can of tomato soup, garlic, onion, salt, Worcestershire, y'all, words are hard. Worcestershire sauce, and then salt and pepper, and then 3 slices of cheese. Like, seems pretty basic, but also things that I think I would have eaten growing up. And so that's the main purpose of me cooking through this cookbook, y'all, is just to see if I find family recipes that bring back that nostalgic feeling, and see if we rediscover new family favorites. So the first thing I'm going to do for this recipe, and it's bottom up casserole, I'm going to give you the page number just in case by chance y'all come across this recipe book. It's on page 61. And this recipe was submitted by Miss Betty Moore from Danville. So if anyone knows Miss Betty Moore from Danville, I'm giving her recipe a go. All right, so it says to go ahead and preheat the oven to 400, thaw the pie shell for 10 minutes, and then bake brown beef and cook celery, onion, and green pepper in shortening, and then drain. Then you stir in all the other ingredients except for the cheese. So I'm going to use butter to saute the vegetables. I could use my bacon grease, but I'll just use butter for right now. And let's get started. So bottom up casserole is going to be made tonight for dinner from What's Cookin'. Kissin' wears out, but cooking don't. Alrighty, so I'm just going to get some butter in my skillet and get the onions and bell peppers sauteing. Now, I preserve all my onions and bell peppers and I put them in the freezer so you can chop them up, but I've already done that work. So I got onions out of my freezer that I've already chopped up from last year's garden. And I'm going to open up this package of bell peppers. Now the hubby's pretty picky about sauteing the vegetables because he hates biting down into a crunchy onion or bell pepper or anything of that nature. If it has that crunch, he won't eat it. So I'm definitely going to saute them down to get them all nice and soft. Is anyone else's husband weird like that? All right, so I'm just going to, making a mess. I'm just going to saute these vegetables. They're still pretty frozen. Might take me a minute or two. But once they're nice and soft and the onions are translucent, I'll bring y'all back. Alrighty, y'all, so I'm back. The onions and bell peppers are nice and soft. As a bell pepper just flew out of my pan. I'm going to turn that down so I don't pop myself. And so now I'm going to add the 1 pound of ground beef. So we buy our ground beef in bulk in that big log from like Costco or Sam's, and I just divide it up and then put it in this gallon freezer bag, and then I freeze it flat, y'all. It thaws in no time at all. So 1 pound is going into the pan. I'm going to throw this away and then wash my hands. All right, so I'm just going to continue stirring this up, letting the meat brown, and let it do its thing. Alrighty, so the meat is nice and brown. This is probably 97.3 meat, so it's not really fatty, but I'm going to go ahead and take a paper towel and sop up whatever grease is in my pan. There's really not enough to dirty up the colander. All right, so now it says to add salt and pepper and 3/4 of a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. The hubby says, go easy on the Worcestershire sauce. That's a brand new bottle. Got to get him to open it for me. Alrighty, y'all. So I have a tendency to be a little heavy-handed with sauces when I cook. So because Worcestershire is so potent and my husband is very sensitive, I'm going to go ahead and measure out. Bullshit. Don't cuss. Bull crap. He's fussing at me. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out 3/4 of a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. This is actually 1 teaspoon, but I just won't fill it up all the way. That just doesn't seem like a lot. We'll see. Now, it doesn't give me measurements for the salt and pepper, so I'm just going to eyeball it like I normally do. Now let's give this meat mixture a taste. Y'all, I just made another mess. Not too bad. I think it needs more. I think I'm going to add another teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, y'all. It also calls for garlic salt. So I'm going to sprinkle that in. All right, going to give it another little taste. Much better. All righty. Turn that off. So, according to what's cooking, Kissin wears out, but Kissin don't. Says to then spread the mixture evenly into a pie plate. So this recipe book says to just spread the mixture evenly in the pie pan, place pie shell over meat mixture, and then put a slit in the crust. And then we're going to bake it for 15 minutes in a 400-degree oven. It also says to not seal the edges on the plate, to just place it on top. And y'all, it's not calling for an egg wash or anything like that, so I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out. All right, so I'm just going to unroll my pie crust. And lay it on top. Then just take my knife and put a slit in the middle. And let's bake it for 15 minutes in a 400-degree oven. So how many of y'all are yelling at me, letting me know I forgot an ingredient? Totally forgot the can of tomato sauce. It calls for a 10 3/4 ounce 10 and 3/4 ounce can of tomato sauce. This is a 15-ounce can, so I'm not going to use it all. And I'm just going to carefully take my pie crust off. I'm glad I reread the recipe before it completely baked in my oven. So not quite the full can. I want to give it another little taste to make sure it's all balanced. Still good. All right, so I'm going to put this pie crust back on and into the 400-degree oven for 15 minutes it goes. Alrighty, guys, I just took it out of the oven. Nice and browned. Smells amazing. So the recipe book says to then just put, place plate over pie, turn upside down, and then top with 3 slices of cheese. Now, when I think of sliced cheese, I think of Kraft singles. I asked the hubby his opinion, and he also thought of Kraft singles, like cheese in the plastic type of cheese slices. What do y'all think? Because I mean, it doesn't specify. When it just says 3 slices of cheese, do y'all think of like Kraft singles or like actual real cheddar cheese that you slice up? I don't know. Miss Granny Betty Moore from Danville doesn't really specify. So today we're going to use the Kraft singles. We'll see what I do next time. Still very hot, y'all. Let's see if I can do this without making an absolute mess or burning myself. Slid it off the plate. Scoot. Looks good. All right, I'm going to clean up my mess. Alrighty, y'all. So now it just says to top your plate with 3 slices of cheese. Fingers crossed it's actually calling for Kraft singles. I debated for like 10 minutes on which cheese to use. But I figured since this recipe book was written, or the recipes were submitted in the 80s, I think they would use Kraft singles. All right, there's 3 slices of cheese for bottom up casserole. It honestly smells good. Like, kind of even looks good. Like, I could totally see my Grammy making it. Even my mom back in the day. And it hardly took any time at all. Like, maybe 10-15 minutes to brown the meat and the vegetables, and then 15 minutes in the oven. Fast and easy. All right, so I'm going to let this cool just a little bit, let this cheese melt, and then I will just take a knife and serve it up to my husband and make myself a plate. See you then. Alrighty, y'all, I can totally see the potential of this falling apart on me. So fingers crossed. And of course, I made another mess. All right, so there's serving for the hubby. I don't know. Kind of looks like slop, to be honest. Hopefully it tastes good. Alrighty, and there's my plate. Let's see what the hubby thinks. What'd you think?
It tastes like somebody had a plan to make something good and got discouraged along the way.
That's not even funny. It's not even funny.
You want me to lie?
Jason Thad.
Emily Cheyenne. On a 1 to 10, first of all, we got to establish what the 10 is.
It's good.
It's good. It's okay.
Don't lie to our friends on YouTube.
I'm not eating it. It's wholesome and filling and not bad on the taste buds.
Okay. Alrighty, y'all. I loved it. It reminded me of the boxed pizza kit that my mom would pick up on those very busy weekday or weeknights.
What's she busy doing?
Raising 2 kids. I swear, this man. Anyway, it reminds me of that boxed pizza kit that my mom would make before we went off to dance class on those busy nights. Was it Chef Boyardee kit?
I guess. You come with everything, even some Parmesan.
Yeah, I mean it's good, definitely good. I would add more Worcestershire sauce, and I would instead of the Kraft single cheese, I would probably use Colby Jack.
This is more like Chef Boy. I forgot what I was doing.
I swear, this man. You're gonna finish it. It's good.
It's not bad.
He says it's not bad. It definitely reminds me of something that my grandma and my mom would do on busy nights.
Back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s, he says. Absolutely. So it definitely brought back that nostalgia. What's the word? I can't even talk anymore.
Nostalgic?
Thank you. Nostalgic.
It puts me in the mind of this is what your mama cooked, this is what you're going to eat, or you ain't going to eat nothing.
Right. So should I make this again? And just tweak it a little bit? I'm going to make it again, and he's going to enjoy it.
It isn't bad. I can eat it.
He says it's not bad. He's going to eat it.
The other crap is bad.
You're being a turd tonight.
I'm being honest. I ain't going to lie to you.
You're being a jerk.
How so?
Don't be mean to me.
This is absolutely wonderful. I'm going to eat it all and anything that's left.
That's
and
right.
I'll even take it to work and give it to my people.
You better.
If I share it with them.
It is good, y'all. Hope you give it a try. And yeah, it definitely brought back to mind something that I grew up eating, and definitely something I think my mom or my grandma would have made.
I can agree with that.
He says he can agree with that. Alrighty, y'all.
My mom would.
Well, your mom hardly cooked.
Bullcrap.
Okay. So anyway, I'm going to finish up dinner. And until next time, y'all, I hope y'all give this video a like and a thumbs up.
Excuse me.
Well, he just belched. How rude.
I said, excuse me.
Okay, dear. Alright, I hope y'all give this video a like and a thumbs up. Subscribe for me if you haven't already. God.
It makes you burp.
Manners.
It makes you burp.
Okay. Anyway. Until next time, y'all. I'm Emily from Bama Based, where I find peace in my garden and joy in my kitchen. Say bye, babe.
Glad you find joy in there.
I do find joy in my kitchen. Until next time, y'all. Bye.